Whether you're making art prints yourself or having a print company make them for you, you're going to need to decide whether you want borderless prints or prints with a white border. Along with this, there are different border sizes. So you can have like this one where it has a very thin border, or something like this that has a thicker border. There's no set standard, but there are some different considerations depending on where you're selling the prints at. I'm going to go over in-person selling first. Now, if you have your prints stacked in a print bin, one of the things that you will realize over time is that the edges of the print can get dinged up. Even if you have a nice thick backing board on the back and they're covered in the polypropylene clear plastic bags, you can still get the edges dinged. Now you can see with this print, if you have a border around it and the edge gets dinged up, but the print itself, that's 8x10 size in this case, does not get damaged. But with this one, which is a borderless 8x10, if you ding this edge right here, it's going to damage the print. And then when the customer frames it, they'll see a little crinkle in the edge of the print. Whereas if you have a border on there, then it gives you some wiggle room. So if another customer drops the print and then refuses to purchase it, or it gets damaged in transit somehow, there is this protection mechanism. So when the customer frames it, they won't have a bent print. Conversely, if you're selling online, then going the borderless route might be the best way to go. And here's why. When customers are using a drop-down menu on your website to order your print and they select an 8x10, they're thinking what they're going to get is going to be easily placed in an 8x10 frame without any cutting or adjusting. And so if you send them a borderless print, it's definitely going to satisfy what they thought it was that they purchased. Now, if you have prints like these with the border around the edges, then the best thing to do is to make sure on your website, you can go ahead and have 8x10 in your drop-down menu, but in the description, make sure to say they're an 8x10 image printed on an 8.5x11 sheet of paper, or a larger sheet of paper if you have larger white borders. This way the customer knows what they're getting. Now we're going to discuss the size of your borders, whether you want a thin border like that's in this one or something thicker. Now if you're planning on signing and numbering your pieces, you're going to want a thicker border. This way it accommodates some space to sign and number. One thing to keep in mind though is if you are making this much of a bigger border, whether you're making the print yourself or you're having a print company make it for you, it will make the cost of your print go up a little bit, because as you go up in paper size, the paper costs more. Whereas if you're trying to be the most value conscious, if you do a borderless image or an image with the thinner border, you'll be using less paper, but it doesn't look quite as nice. I mean, you can see how this looks a little bit cheaper. The vibe might be a little bit lower quality than a print like this with bigger borders. So with all of these factors to consider, you might be asking yourself which is best. And it's kind of confusing, especially if you're selling in person and online. It might be hard to figure out which direction to go with your prints, or maybe some of the pieces you want to sign and number, but then some of them you don't. You want open edition prints. So then what are you to do? What I like to do is just make all of my prints with borders. I use the thinnest border possible to be able to fit on a more affordable piece of paper rather than making very thick borders. Now, when people are buying larger pieces from me, sometimes I make those larger prints with a little bit larger borders, as you saw in some of the examples that I showed throughout the video. But primarily, I like to make the borders to where they're ultimately going to be cut off once the customer frames them. I like to do this because it gives the customer some ability when they're deciding how to mat and frame them. If it's borderless, they can easily slide it into a frame. But with a little bit of a border there, if they want to mat it around the outside of the image, so that way nothing is covering the image, so there maybe even is a little bit of that white border showing, they can do so. And what I've learned over the years is that customers don't really say anything either way. Oftentimes, customers just want to get what they expect to get, especially when they're ordering online. So whether you are selling borderless prints or prints with a border, just make sure to clearly describe what it is that you're selling to them, so that way they know what they will be receiving. And in person, most of the time, customers don't want all of the extra information. If you just tell them it's an 8x10 size print, even if it's an 8x10 size print printed on 8.5 by 11 size paper like this one is, customers don't need or want all of that information when they're shopping in person. Just simply tell them it's an 8 by 10 size print, and then they will find out whenever they get home to go frame it that they either need to cut the white part off, which is very easy to do. I've never had a single customer complain about trimming off a white border so that they can frame their print. Either that or they'll just use a mat on it. A lot of frames come with mats. Most frames do these days. So you can get like a bigger frame, like an 11 by 14 frame, and it'll come with an 8 by 10 mat. So then the customer can just slide this in there behind the mat, place a little bit of tape on there to secure it, and they won't have to really worry about trimming it off. So that's why I think I've never had any customers ask or really care, complain at all about getting a print that has a border on it later. So I wanted to include that in here because I know some of you are probably wondering, because all in all, I mean, we want to make our customers happy so that they will continue to purchase from us time and time again in the future. And so yeah, either way, I think as long as you're clear with your customers about what they're getting, they're going to be happy. All right, well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to learn more about making art prints, check out this video. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.